Alright, so this week I was actually able successfully to get these three spawners to work correctly, in the fact that once you spawn, it's going to pick one of these random points, and then you will go in there, a lander will spawn, there will be enemies that spawn. Once you kill all the enemies, it will pick one of the other two random locations, and you will continue this trend all the way up until the end. I'll show a little bit of that now, and this level is completely done. I've started work on the actual final main level of the game, but I don't have anything to really show for that.
Head to the next landing point.
So now there's an audio cue and an objective cue that tells you to go ahead, and the arrow does now spin at a more reasonable level, besides spinning at 10 million miles a minute. And just like the last turret defense objective, you'll sit and have to kill all the enemies. Once there's another one, you'll see another arrow spawn somewhere, and then you will head to there. And that will basically go on up until the moment I found what the problem was. The problem was that the array was not updating automatically. I can show a little bit of that. So basically what was happening was in the pick spawner, when I was telling it to get a random array asset from here, it would do it, but if it didn't meet the criteria, it'd give up. Now having it here, it's constantly re-picking a new lander to appear, so it's constantly picking a random one. So this is always updating, and basically what it's going to do is, once the once all the enemies have spawned in, it will then count the enemies. Once the enemies have reached 0, it will pick a new spawner, and it will pick a spawner based on if the player is at that current spawner. If the player is there, it's going to keep picking and picking and picking till it picks one where the player is not there. Once it finds one that the player is not there, it's going to raise the wall, add to the count to how many I want it to keep going. So I can literally have it keep going forever if I really want to. Update the objective HUD, play the sound cue, and then the player will go over to said thing. The lander won't spawn there until the player spawns. That's what this whole thing does. This whole thing keeps track of if there's enemies and if the player is there. So that's all done, and like I said, I'm working on the final aspect I'm working on the final level. Once that is done, I'm going to start working on a few other things, and I'm going to actually start working on actual cutscenes for the game, because I plan to have one in between each level, which is going to take not a whole lot of work, because I only plan to have them maybe be 30 seconds long each. But I have to build out all the whole environment, render it, and decide if I want to do it in Unreal or do it in Maya, but I'll decide that later. Other than that, I'll see you next week.